This is Rogers Community Television, Toronto.
The Lesbian and Gay Bi Youth Line is a peer support and information service for youth 26 and under across Ontario. Hours of operation are 4 to 9:30 p.m. Sunday to Friday.
Well, it's about an hour before the parade begins, and I have a real sense of deja vu right now because this is exactly where we were last year. Except the parade's bigger this year, there are more floats, more participants, there's even a heck of a lot more humidity today. So hopefully things will get started real soon, and enjoy the parade.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Oslach and this is Alan Lewis, and we're the hosts of 10% QTV, and we're also your hosts for the 1999 Pride Day Parade.
One pride fits all. It's a rainy afternoon, but there is over 500,000 people out on the streets for Pride. It's going to be an amazing afternoon, and this Pride Parade is bigger than last year.
This is Toronto's last Pride Parade of the millennium.
And people have turned out in full force for it.
Okay, I think it's starting, Mary.
You're going to screw me up with that name. Okay, the parade is about to begin. And as you can see, the Grand Marshals have their own water cannons. So they're prepared. There's Savoy and Mark. And Savoy won her medal in 1996 in Ontario. She's a silver medalist for boxing.
What would you like to say to Toronto today in Pride 99?
I'm very proud of you for staying out in the rain to support the Gay Pride Parade and to just get wet.
Great. How can we be proud all year round and not just on this one day?
Just be proud and take care of the responsibility that it takes to be a gay and lesbian.
David Clark.
Right on.
Thank you very much. Happy Pride Day.
You too. Okay, next up we've got an honored group, U of T Homophile Association. LGBTOUT, so LGBT out. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered people of U of T. It's 30 years in existence.
Yes, they're the honored group in this year's parade, and they're primarily a social group at the University of Toronto. They organize homo hops, but they are also instrumental in the Positive Space campaign, and they have found the Rainbow Triangle Alumni Association for graduates of U of T. We have a lot of university clubs coming by all together. There's the Rainbow Triangle, which is the Alumni Association. The Career Center at the University of Toronto and Sexual Diversity Studies, which LGBT Out had a great... LGBT Out was instrumental in helping form that degree program. So it's a large contingent from LGBT Out and U of T. Multiple departments in U of T. Celebrating student life.
The Ontario Association of Social Workers are up next. It's their third year in the Toronto Pride.
It's a professional association representing over 3,000 social workers across Ontario, almost half of the City of Toronto and York Peel regions.
Well, what do you know? It's Mega Mayor Mel Lastman on his fire truck with the QTV water gun. It's his second year in the parade.
And there are the B-girls squidgying. Pride Week seems to be going a lot smoother for the mayor this year. Don't think he's had any death threats, but he has been threatened with squidgy girls and with water cannons as he goes down the street.
How does it feel to be the mayor of Canada's largest city and one of the biggest Pride celebrations in the world?
Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It goes on all over the world. The mayors take part of them all over the world, whether it's Israel or Italy or anywhere else. This goes on, and this is part of life. And I represent all the people of Toronto, and I have no intention of only representing segments of Toronto. If I have the time and I can do it, which I'm able to, I'm going to take part.
Do you feel especially proud of your city being so diverse?
Yeah, we are the most diverse city in the world. We're people from 169 different countries who speak over 100 languages. We are the most diverse, even more so than New York and more so than Los Angeles.
What are your plans for Pride 2000?
I don't make plans. If they have plans and I'm available, I'll participate.
And there goes the mayor, followed by the fruits.
We've got Ottawa Pride. Pride in Ottawa this year is actually Sunday, July 11th. The parade starts at 2 p.m. If you want to make it down there, it's what, a 5-hour drive from Toronto? It's nothing.
They were here last year, and in Ottawa, some 10,000 people took to the streets following a pink line painted down the street. The idea was borrowed from New York City's Pride Parade. And this year, Pride Parade in Ottawa Hall will be a national demonstration of support for the objectives of the Foundation for Equal Families, who will be marching in this year's parade in Toronto. Check out 10% QTV in Ottawa on Rogers Channel 22.
Huge flag following behind. Love that.
They're drying off the flag from the rain earlier, and it should be dry by the time they get down to the end of the street. Oh, and there's money in the flag, so they're asking people to throw money into the flag.
Wow, that's a good idea.
They could collect a lot of money in that flag. Our cameraman is underneath the flag. I don't quite know how that happened, but I think he'll be free in a moment. And there's a little girl trapped under the flag as well. I hope she gets out soon.
We got the Lesbian and Gay Bi Youth Line, proud sponsors of 10% QTV. The beginning of every one of our shows.
And the Lesbian Gay Bi Youth Line is part of the youth coalition that are marching together. There are youths from all over the province. And marching with the youth contingent are the Subtonic Monks. That's the music you hear, the drums behind. They've combined together to enter as one group. And here come the drummers. The Youth Coalition has marched in the parade for 3 years in a row now. Their contingent just gets bigger and bigger. And this is the first band that has come down with music, so that will liven up the parade as we continue down the road. And behind the Subtonic Monks is part of the Triangle program.
We've got the Children's Aid Society.
Children's Aid Society is marching with the youth contingent and is their 3rd year in the parade in support of lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender youth. Children's Aid Society is looking for adoptive and foster parents. This means you. If you're interested, get in contact with the Children's Aid Society.
We've got Planned Parenthood of Toronto. Put the needs of youth at the forefront. Community Health Center for youth aged 13 to 25 in the new city of Toronto. It was founded in 1961 and now has over 550 members.
It's also their 3rd year in Toronto's parade. And they also provide information and counseling to the community, from the latest in contraceptive choices to anonymous HIV testing. They also offer anti-homophobia peer education programs.
Here's McMaster University.
It's nice to see them marching with the youth contingent. One other member of the group is George Brown College. So as you can see, the youth contingent is made up from youth groups and university groups from all over Southern Ontario.
Next, we've got the Foundation for Equal Families with EGAL.
Yes, the Foundation for Equal Families is marching with EGAL, who were last year's Grand Marshals. John Fisher is the executive director of EGAL since 1994. And they've been a very, very busy group this year, the Foundation for Equal Families. It's nice to see they took the time out to march with us in this year's parade. They've spent most of the year in our court system challenging equality laws for gays and lesbians everywhere. You may remember the M versus H Supreme Court decision to extend spousal supports to same-sex couples under the Ontario Family Law Act. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex couples. However, the federal government is reviewing the decision in Parliament. If the government won't make a stand, it's nice to see that EGAL and the Foundation for Equal Families are for us. They're working hard this Pride also with their postcard campaign. Fill out a postcard and send this message to the Prime Minister. The message, equality, it's about time.
Sure is.
What would you like to say to everyone watching 10% QTV today?
I would like to say that if you haven't done so already, sign your postcard for the Prime Minister. You can get them through a gal or the foundation, and let the Prime Minister know today that you want all 58 federal laws that discriminate against gays and lesbian relationships changed now. Not tomorrow, but today.
Thank you very much, and happy Pride Day.
Yeah, happy Pride Day to you.
Children of lesbian and gays everywhere. Collage.
Collage has been around for 2 years, and there's only a few marches in Toronto, but there are 1,500 members worldwide. And they're a group. There's actually a number of groups coming together. There's Children of Lesbians and Gays Everywhere, and Gay Fathers of Toronto, all recognizing the fact that many, many gay people, gay and lesbian couples, do have children. This is Al Fatiha. It's an organization that was formed just this year, and so it's obviously their first year in the parade, and they provide support for queers of the Muslim faith. And we have about 30 participants in the Greater Toronto area.
Wow.
And they have their banner.
There's the Alliance for South Asian AIDS Prevention. AIDS Prevention and Support Service for people whose ethnic origin is from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, or other South Asian countries now living in North America.
And this group is marching with several banners. It was initiated in 1989 by members of KUSH, a Toronto queer South Asian group, in response to the death of a sole Asian couple from AIDS. Due to language and cultural barriers, the couple did not have access to services of existing mainstream AIDS service organizations. Marching right behind them is Amnesty International.
Here are the Prime Timers Toronto.
Prime Timers is an organization for gay and bi men 40 plus. They meet at the 519 Community Center on Church Street. And it's a nice active organization for men who like to be active in the community.
The Friends of Dorothy. That wouldn't be Dorothy Spornak, would it?
No, it's not the Golden Girls. It's Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
From St. Catharines, Ontario.
Now, the group is 3 years old, but this is not Dorothy's first Pride. The group organizes community dances in the Niagara area.
Here comes the Oz car and the Oz Marchers. It's their second year in the parade. Last year, the judge's choice for Best Float.
Now, Oz is a hair salon in Yorkville, and Oz participates in the parade to raise funds for the Teresa Group. Some of you may not know the Teresa Group. It's a non-profit organization supporting children infected or affected by HIV and AIDS. And there hasn't been much music yet in the parade, so it's good to hear speaker systems go down the road.
We've got Labour Pride.
This group represents the Canadian Labour Congress, and they are repeat marches in the Pride Parade.
How many years have you been in Pride?
I think this is about the third or fourth year. We've come before, not with banners, but past few years we've brought the steelworker banners, and this year we formed a steelworker gay group called Steel Pride, and this is the second outing actually for the banner because we took it on a Dyke March yesterday.
Great. And how many people are in the United Steelworkers gay group?
Right now, like our committee, it's just about 10 people, but we're planning a bunch of different things because next fall when the OFL has Lesbian Gay Conference, the steelworkers are going to host a reception down at the Steel Hall, and so we just hope to get the word out.
Well, thank you very much and happy Pride Day.
Thank you. Happy Pride Day too.
Lesbian and gays in the London area.
Okay. Another Labour group is the Canadian Auto Workers from London.
Do we sense a transportation theme here?
I don't know. It's hard to say if they drove or not. The Windsor group is marching with the London group today. Okay, and behind them we have the Breadalbane Street Pipe Band.
It's their second year in the parade. Well, it's their second year in existence.
The ancient Scottish mountain territory known as Breadalbane was populated by giants, saints, sinners, soothsayers, spirits, and warrior clans, and I gather that's why they chose their name. They're waiting for their turn. And here they come.
a truck filled with women.
Can't tell for sure, but I suspect that this is temperamental.
It
Yes,
is.
it is temperamental.
It's an all-female float. Their theme is Mad Max meets Fantasia. I guess they're beyond Thunderdome.
The float is assisted by financial contribution from Air Canada. It's described as a live locomotive installation combining art, metal, flesh, and lots of sound. And the sound is headed in our direction.
The We're No Angels Coalition for St. Mike's Hospital.
So we have two floats, two marching bands now. There is the We're No Angels Coalition, and Homelessness is a National Disgrace is the banner traveling with them. They're marching in support of St. Mike's Hospital. They want to see it as a public hospital. Now we have a pink Volkswagen driven by the Gay Records. And I believe that Melanie Melody is in the car.
You know, I've actually seen that driving
Perhaps
around.
the most conspicuous car so far. I think it belongs in a gay pride parade.
Hey, we've got Jim Wakeford in the brown convertible. He recently won the court battle to use marijuana for medicinal purposes. 10% QTV was there when he started his campaign and when he finally succeeded after years of trying. He caused the Minister of Health to review the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes, and the Health Minister will be marching in this year's parade.
Jim Wakeford will be marching in the parade as well. Do you have any comments on the recent decision of the medicinal use of marijuana?
Yeah, in fact, I just went over to see Jim Wakeford at his booth, but on Wellesley, but he wasn't there. I hope to see him later on this afternoon. Well, what can I say? I mean, I think we put marijuana into the hands of Jim Wakeford and another guy who have shown that they can use it and help with some of their symptoms. And we'll continue to do that when people make applications for exemptions and it's clear that they need it. And we're also doing research on medical marijuana to learn more about it. We're one of the first countries to do that, and I think it's the right thing to do.
We have two fabulous drag queens behind Jim Wakeford in rickshaws.
Here comes Fab.
The styling of this interesting float is by Ghetto Fabulous David Ha. He's actually on the float. The float has got a garden theme, as you can tell. There are apparently 1,000 flowers on the float, and they're throwing them to the crowd.
We've got the Transit Triangle. It's a support group for queer employees of the Toronto Transit Commission. It's no secret gay women make the best bus drivers.
Transit Triangle was formed in 1991. It's their 7th year in the parade. And it's hard to believe that 2 weeks ago some TTC drivers wouldn't hand out transfers because they advertised gay, lesbian, and bisexual services. Quite scary, but get over it.
Yeah, really.
I guess with co-workers like that, you need your own support group, that's for sure.
Well, next we've got the Toronto Hydro. First year in the Toronto Pride Parade. It was founded in 1911 in the old city of Toronto. Toronto Hydro now powers the entire mega city with 2,000 employees.
What a great opportunity to show actually all of Toronto that we are an equal opportunity employer. You know, and that's, I think, important in this day and age. Well, I think everybody knows that, you know, a lot of people are, but let's show it.
Exactly. So how can, what would be your message to people to show their pride all year round as opposed to just on this one day?
I will just live and, you know, like do your own thing and don't hide it. Like, you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with us. You know, like we're average, ordinary citizens every day of the year, and be happy, be proud, and don't hide it. Yeah.
Well, thank you from 10% QTV to Toronto Hydro for showing up to our parade today.
Well, thank you. Have a good day.
So we've got two of the major services in Toronto, one behind the other, the Transit Triangle and Toronto Hydro.
Great to see them here supporting Pride.
And the Toronto Hydro employees are throwing out candy. I guess it's their form of providing energy to people watching the parade.
You pick up on those things pretty good, eh?
Well, they couldn't shock them with voltage.
Next, we've got the National Coalition of Builders chapter, which was formed in 1984.
Now, they have a very broad mandate. It's an international organization to end the mistreatment of all people, so we're glad to see them in the parade. This is the Toronto chapter, whose current membership is about 3,000, and it is their second year marching down Yonge Street.
Here's Canada's Gay Guide. It's a national annual directory of LGBT-friendly resources founded in 1997. It's published just before Toronto Pride. It's the first year in the parade. It's the fourth year as a sponsor of the official Pride Guide, though. It lists 5,000 organizations available in 250 cities. You can also check them out at gayguide.ca.
Everything you could possibly want to know is in the Gay Guide.
Here's Pearlie's maps. Second year in the parade.
You might see the President James Pearlie in the Pearlie van. Pearlie's was founded 50 years ago by his grandfather. Hope they know where they're going. They should.
I think they'll make it.
It's that way.
Here comes the Righteously Outrageous Twirling Corps, ROTC.
It's a return act for them. They have about 15 members, and it's their 5th year. They're goodwill ambassadors representing the gay and lesbian community. Now, the Twirling Corps is sponsored by the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto, the Rainbow Lions Club, and the Bloor Valley Health Club. And here they are.
Look at them go.
They know how to move, those twirlers.
They practice all the time.
And I think the B-girls are getting into the act.
Oh my God, that's pretty good.
Makes a little bit more practice, but that's pretty good for a first
Go
time.
barbecue.
Okay. Up. 3 strikes and then you're out.
You're gonna scuff it, barbecue. Not bad.
I believe those are the Squeal Magnolias behind the Righteously Outrageous Twirling Corps. Now that is an outfit.
Jeez.
Perhaps a little bit overdressed for the weather today.
Well, talk about going all out for Pride. It's the time to do it, though.
And as you can see, the parade has stopped. There is probably a holdup somewhere because the street is just full of people.
Little break in the parade. Need a rest.
Now, as you may not know, it takes about 500 volunteers to put together the Pride Day Parade.
Holy.
Yes, that's 500 hard-working people who have probably had very little sleep this entire week. And thanks to our co-chairs this year, David Clark for his 2nd term as Pride co-chair, and Tammy Kazan. It's her 1st year.
What do we have next? Is that the Casey House? It is the Casey House. Glad to see them out today, supporting our community. It opened in 1988 by June Callwood in memory of her son, Casey.
AIDS, a disease that does not discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation. We all know that, but it's great to see Casey House in the parade this year. And it's a new era for Casey House, a hospice for people living with AIDS.
We've got the Church of the Holy Trinity. 5 years they've been in the parade.
And 30 years of solidarity with the queer community. It's also home to 4 out gay and lesbian clergy. It's an Anglican congregation, and as you can see, the Trinity Marchers are following their van.
We've got the First Unitarian Congregation of Toronto with 400 plus members. They welcome queer worshippers.
The ministers perform ceremonies of union for same-sex couples, and the Sunday School promotes respect for diversity, including sexual orientation. one of several queer-friendly churches in today's parade. As you can see, the Church of the Holy Trinity and the Unitarians and Universalists are marching together.
There's the reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's their second year of the parade in Ontario and Quebec. It's the MCCT, the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto, taking religion to the streets. This morning before the parade was the annual MCCT church service. They do this every year religiously.
Brett Hawks is a community leader and the leader of the MCCT Toronto.
There's the New Life Community Church.
Yes, they're following the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto. Well, I think our religious moment is over. All of the churches marching together. That was very well organized.
Okay, next we've got Clean and Sober and Proud.
And you can see their flag just off to the left-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, the rainbow flag. Some members belong to Alcoholics Anonymous and other 12-step programs.
And this year, as in years before, there's an alcohol-free zone on Church Street specifically for queers who wish to experience Pride Day au naturel.
There's P-Flag. Parents, families, and friends of lesbians and gays, keeping families together.
There's a gazillion P-Flag signs out there. You can't miss them.
Oh, we got P-Flag Toronto. There's P-Flag from all over the place. There's Jewish parents, P-Flag of Sarnia in London, Cornwall. Everyone's there. And Grey Bruce from St. Catharines.
Often P-Flag does march as a group in the parade.
P-Flag launched its first billboard campaign this week. These simple, heartfelt messages. There's someone you know and love is gay. There's also, it's not a choice, it's okay to be gay. And these billboards are up all over. There's one.
Yeah, they're very
up at
proud of this
Finch,
new campaign. They think it will be very effective at getting the message across to people that you should love your children for who they are. We have a crowd shot from the tops of the buildings. That usually happens every year, that people get the best vantage point from above.
We're going to take a break now. There's a little gap in the traffic, but we'll be back right after these messages.
Got car questions? Why not join Tom and Jim, the car guys, and Canada's only do-it-yourself auto maintenance TV program. Tune into The Car Guys, weekdays at 10:30.
Hi, I'm Anthony Regan.
And I'm Cheryl McConney, and we're the hosts of Daytime.
Ta-da! Join us daily for cooking, music, fun, laughter, and a lot more.
And bad jokes from him.
Okay, maybe just a few.
No, lots of bad jokes with him.
Epic adventure, timeless drama. Give me the bomb. Just give it to me. And unforgettable faces brought to life on film. The greatest movies of all time. Books. Spiritually dangerous books. With the biggest stars of all time. The remarkable stories that are History on Film. Wednesday through Saturday nights at 9 on History Television.
Action! Maybe a nice cup of coffee will calm my nerves.
God! Makeup! Costumes! Everyone! People, work with me here! The film festival is quickly approaching and I have nothing! Oh, last year I had all the big names. I had Kiefer Sutherland, Nev Campbell, Peter Berg, Meryl Streep. I walked the red carpet with Billy Zane. I partied with Cameron Diaz. I talked film with Tom Cruise.
I'll be in my trailer.
She has a trailer? Where's my trailer?
We're back with our coverage from the 1999 Pride Parade.
Next, we have politicians from all walks of life. And this was organized as a group of federal and provincial and municipal politicians marching in solidarity in this year's parade. Let's see who's here. There's Bill Graham, MP for Centre Rosedale. can see he's got a rainbow flag around his neck. And Centre Rosedale is, of course, the village. That's our riding. There's Alan Rock, Federal Minister of Health. George Smitherman. You are the first openly gay MPP in Ontario. What pressures has that put on you?
I frankly think it's put no pressures on me. It's a great honor, and I've been well received. I did very well in the election campaign. It wasn't an issue particularly. It might have been for some individual voters, but I feel no pressure. I mean, I'm a gay man. I've been openly gay for a long time. I own a store at Church in Wellesley. This is my community, and I'm a veteran of many Pride Days. Been at these things since 1986. So none really. It's an honor to have that, and I think that there's a role to play in trying to enlighten and encourage other people that might not have had as much opportunity and exposure to gay issues as I have.
And Dalton McGuinty is there with George Smitherman. They're both wearing their Liberal red, so they can't be missed. And the B-Girls want to dance with Dalton. Come on, Dalton, dance with the B-Girls. It's nice to see one leader of one provincial political party marching in the parade. Somebody seems to be conspicuously absent.
Yeah, fishing with his son. Whatever.
He's at the diagonal opposite of the province today, just out of... Oddly enough, there's Barbara Hall.
Barbara!
Also marching is Dominic Agostino, MPP from Hamilton, Claudette Boyer, MPP for Ottawa, Michael Bryant, MPP for St. Paul's, and the Honourable Chris Stockwell, MPP. David Kaplan as well, provincial politician.
There's the Arco Iris Portuguese.
Now they're a small but lively contingent of flag wavers. Flags representing South America, Canada, and of course there's a pride flag there as well. And I believe that truck is the truck that goes along with the Arco Iris Portuguese contingent. So we have the flag wavers and we also have the truck with the music. Now we have Toronto Affirm United, supporter of Glory, gays and lesbian organization of spiritual youth. They work with youth 25 and under who are struggling with their sexual orientation and conflicting religious beliefs. Within a spiritual and or religious context, we explore the roles of lesbians and gays in mainstream Christian settings. That is their mandate.
This is so fun! That's 81-year-old Patricia dancing. She's so adorable. Aww.
And juxtaposed with them are the queer pagans marching behind them. Everybody's represented here.
We've got the Canadian Raelian movement, UFO contactees. Yes, they do believe in aliens. The truth is out there.
It's perhaps one of the more obscure groups marching in the parade. I suppose it's as good a time as any to mention that this year, or tonight, Pride Night, is a full moon. I don't know what the connection is, but maybe there is one. But seriously, the Raelian movement supports sexual minorities, and they are here to support queers everywhere.
It's a two-spirited people. Great to see them out today.
Behind the two-spirited people is a Hamilton club, the Crush Club. It's their first year in the parade. And the Crush is a watering hole for queers in the Golden Horseshoe area.
We should go check that out. Sounds great. We've got the Toronto Association of Gay and Lesbian Arts and Recreation and Culture. Theatre in the Park. Famous for Query Shakespeare each summer in Cawthra Park behind the 519. It's their fourth year in the parade.
So catch them in the park this summer, right behind the 519 Community Center.
Hey, is that Zelda? Alan, is that Zelda? It is! Zelda's Fire and Ice!
Yes, they're promoting the Fire and Ice Ball. Zelda's is known for its Drag Queen Saturday night, Drag Queen Saturdays at Zelda's. Well, I believe Zelda had a boob job. They're bigger than ever. There's the Imperial Court of Toronto. And traveling with the Imperial Court of Toronto should be the Imperial Court of Hamilton. It's their 12th year in the parade. And the Emperor and Empress, they're not just there to look pretty. Their job is to raise funds for charities. So it's a fairly large contingent from Teacott, about 6 or 7 cars. It's kind of like a royal wedding, except better.
Look at all the queens with the royal waves. It could be the royal
Empresses,
family.
I do believe they are.
Empresses, pardon me.
And for each empress, there is an emperor. In addition to dressing real fine, all these royal folks do plenty of fundraising for groups and organizations needing financial assistance. The Imperial Court of Buffalo was in last year's parade, and they come up every year for the parade. Those are beautiful dresses, oh my. And hair to die for. Why didn't you dye your hair for Pride, Chris? You could have got a big red hairdo.
Yeah, that's me. You know me well, my co-host.
Well, I could only try. And we have some stilted marchers. And they're terrorizing Ernie and Bert, it would seem.
Sesame Street.
Who are not on Sesame Street by any means.
Downtown Swim Club. 70 members, it's 12 years old, and they're hosting the International Gay and Lesbian Aquatics Masters swimming, diving, and water polo events in the summer of 2001. The Fraternity, Gay Businessmen's Association, founded in 1989. Gay Power Brokers in their 5th year.
It's 5th year, yes, it is their 5th year in the parade, and recently they were featured on the cover of the Toronto Star Business section that this year with an article about the emerging gay corporate market, and it is a big one. Can you not see it? There's a 750,000 people with money in their pockets. So yes, it's a huge market, and everybody is recognizing it and joining in on the parade. It's very nice to see. The fraternity also has a civil rights legal fund for the gay community. So they like to support their community with financial support. And there they are with their cell phones and ties and their briefcases. They must be dressed down Fridays or Pride Sunday, one of the two.
I guess Pride Sunday.
I think it's a Pride Sunday. Buy low, sell high, boys.
There's the Sarnia-Lambton Pride Committee. It's a new organization that's formed this year. Sarnia Pride Day is actually Saturday, August 21st. There's Gay Asians Toronto. Recent magazine launch for gay Asians called Dragon. These are return marchers. Their mandate is to educate and promote a positive relationship between gay Asian communities and the general Canadian society. After them is the Bleecker Street Co-op to provide safe and affordable housing. They've been around since 1990, and it's their 1st year in the parade. It's like a fun place to live.
Here we have more water guns.
Beautiful black truck.
Wish we knew who they were. And behind them is the Out and Out Club, and they are return marchers in the Pride Parade. They're gay men who love the outdoors and the return to nature.
Okay, we got the Toronto Bisexual Network. We also got the London Bisexual Network. The Toronto Bisexual Network, though, is proudly celebrating 10 years. They support, encourage creative dialogue, and share relevant news and other information. Most importantly, everything said at their meetings is confidential.
Oh, and there's a fire eater. Every parade needs a fire eater. They're exploring avenues to increase the visibility of bisexual people and strengthen their community both locally and globally, like marching in Toronto's Pride Parade. And the fire eater certainly draws attention to their cause.
Good, because you know there's prejudice within our community.
There is, but not today. They are also marching with the Bisexual Women of Toronto, so they're marching as a large contingent.
There's Forte, Toronto Men's Chorus. Here comes the Pizza car. I recognize it, that vintage 1971 Oldsmobile.
Okay, now where are those 3 unofficial Pride Day mascots for the Pizza car? I want to see them. Hot, fast, and fresh. Where are you?
You stop.
Now behind the Pizza.
The Unified Float. Unity is a collaboration of event organizers who strive to bring you blowout pride parties every year since 1996.
And the Unity dancers are behind the float in pink and white feathers. Can't be missed.
We've got Durham Alliance, Club 717.
Club 717 is Durham Region's only non-profit gay and lesbian club. The club offers regular dance nights along with many special events which include theme nights, drag shows, talent nights, euchre, dance Saturdays, and other events.
Hey, there's Tinky Winky, your buddy.
Hey, we knew there had to be a Tinky Winky somewhere in the parade.
AIDS Action Now. They've been around for, what, 10 years? There's approximately 12,500 people living with HIV/AIDS in Ontario. TAAR, T-A-A-R, the Treatment Access and Research Committee, is a subcommittee of AIDS Action Now, which focuses on questions of access to experimental treatments, treatment information, ethical clinical trials, and federal research policy.
And there is some anti-provincial government sentiment at this, saying that the Tories starve people with AIDS.
Fife House. The theme this year, Building a Future.
Fife House has been around since 1988. And Fife House mission is to provide secure, affordable housing for people living with HIV and AIDS. And this is CANFAR, the Red Ribbon Campaign marchers on behalf of CANFAR, the Canadian Foundation for AIDS Research. It's their first year in parade. And here we have Daniel's 48-hour sit-a-thon. For the past 4 years, Daniel has staged a sit-a-thon in a car to raise money for a good cause. He'll be doing it again this year in August. And we have AIDS Walk now.
AIDS Walk Peel. It's the Peel HIV/AIDS Network since 1993 in Mississauga. It's their 5th year in Toronto Pride Parade. First year with a float. Sponsored by 103.5.
That's the Yellow Bug, hits 103.5 FM. And the AIDS Walk will take place in September of this year. And George Smitherman has been active in the AIDS Walk Toronto campaign.
500,000 people participated in last year's AIDS Walk in various cities. The 9-year total for the AIDS Walk Toronto is now over 5 million, generated by 18,000 walkers, 250 team captains, 500 volunteers. This year the AIDS Walk is on September 26th.
You're on camera. Would you like to say something to all of Toronto watching?
Happy Pride Day, all of Toronto, from the AIDS Committee of Toronto and AIDS Walk Toronto.
How many people are walking with you today?
We're going to have about 20-25 people in total for AIDS Walk Toronto, in addition to a vehicle, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Great.
ACT, the AIDS Committee of Toronto.
They're marching with the AIDS Walk Toronto contingent.
There's over 800 members.
And the AIDS Committee of Toronto is the beneficiary of the AIDS Walk. That's why they're marching together. And the AIDS Committee of Toronto provides health promotion, support, and education for those living with or affected by HIV and AIDS.
Oh my God, it's a Plymouth Prowler with Chris Edwards, Miss Bailey's. She's so gorgeous.
There we are. The bottle is as big as she is. Now, Miss Bailey's was chosen this year at the Miss Bailey's contest, which was held at Woody's. I think the bottle's empty. It's way too light.
Maybe
and
she's
Chris
just
is
strong.
traveling with the Woody's float.
What a great car to be on.
We have some drag queens who are unassociated with the float. They're just doing their own thing. In a very grand manner.
Hey,
now we
the
have
Woody's.
Lobat's truck. And this is part of the Woody's float.
And they've been on Church Street since 1989. That's what, 10 years in the parade now?
Yes, and Sailor has been, their other bar has been open for 5 years. And as you can see, here come the Sailors. Sailors are always needed at a Pride parade. I don't think that we could have a Pride parade without sailors. I couldn't.
Okay, Alan.
Should I calm down now, Chris?
519 Church Street Community Center. Started in 1976. It's appropriately located in the heart of our community, and it's only the second year, actually, it's been in the parade.
And as we all know, the 519 provides a positive space free of racial, sexual, or physical discrimination.
They're singing out Lesbian and Gay Chorus of Toronto, founded in 1992, and now there's 100+ members, and it's their 7th year in the parade.
They'll be traveling to San Jose for Gay and Lesbian Chorus Association, for a Gay and Lesbian Chorus Association. Hope they know the way.
Well, the parade wouldn't be complete without Extra. Toronto's Lesbian and Gay Biweekly and a proud sponsor of 10% QTV for years. There's also an Extra West in Vancouver and a Capital X in Ottawa.
Extra's been around for a long time. In 1971, it started as the Pink Triangle Press, and it was preceded by the Body Politic before that. This is Extra's 3rd year in the parade. And they're in the parade in association with Avenue Moving. Hello.
Okay, we've got the TNT Men, and you know that's Totally Naked Toronto. Men enjoying nudity. It's a social and recreational group that began in 1997. It's their 3rd year in the parade. Looks like they're not totally naked. Mr. Leatherman Toronto competition.
They're wearing just slightly more than the TNT Men. There's Mr. Leatherman Ottawa.
When is the Ottawa Pride?
Actually, ours is in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be a real fun-filled weekend. We've got a great party that I'm hoping these guys are going to come down for Friday night at the Cell Block. We have our Rainbow Party, which we have every year at Lansdowne Park, which is just phenomenal. Then we have our parade followed by a picnic at the RMOC campgrounds, and that is a party to be seen at.
I've been to Ottawa Pride. It's fabulous.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it goes for a
Are you
whole
going
week,
up
so-
on Parliament Hill this year again?
I believe we were trying to. I'm not sure if it's been confirmed or not
Really?
yet.
Oh, it'd be so cool if you can.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
Pride.
Happy Pride.
There's a whole lot of beefcake going down the road right now. Chris Holmgren is Mr. Leatherman Toronto 1999 and Mr. Black Eagle Leather 1999-98. 1998-99. Robin Empson is Mr. Leather Fellowship 1999. And the Leather Ball is on Saturday, August 14th at the Warehouse. And part of the proceeds will go to Community Care Home Hospice Program of the Metropolitan Community Church of Toronto. From leather to bears now.
Bears at work.
A lot of building going on in this parade. Maybe they'll get their house done by the end of the parade.
How long did it take you to construct your float?
Well, the construction was done mostly yesterday. The structure that you see was built yesterday in the afternoon. It took about 3 hours, 4 hours. Today we did all the balloons and put all the banners up and put the stereo system and stuff. So it took a few more hours today. Although it's been a little bit behind schedule because of the rain and stuff.
And they're looking out for bear crossings. I don't think there'll be any bears crossing. They'll just be marching down the street.
Famous Players, 78 years old, but their newest cinema, their new cinema, the Paramount, just opened.
When the Famous Players opened the new Paramount Cinema, it opened up with 2 productions. One, of course, was Star Wars, but it also opened up with the Inside Out Film Festival. And this is one of the largest festivals of its kind in North America, and we're very proud to say that Famous Players opened their new theater with that festival.
Got the Trinity Home Hospice, providing both practical and emotional support for persons with terminal illness. They're focused on promoting quality of life, physical, emotional, and spiritual, which is defined by the clients. They work in people's homes to do this, and it's their 5th year in the parade. The Buddies in Bad Times float. It's North America's largest gay and lesbian theater company, founded in 1979. They've been marching in the Toronto Pride Parade since 1989.
Here we are with a former QTV member, Gordon McCarricker. Gordon, tell me, what does this large rocket ship mean on your float?
Well, this is for Buddies in Bad Times Theatre. It's queer theatre for the new millennium, and it's the biggest prop piece I could find from my life in the film industry, so graciously donated to us from Animorphs.
Oh, great. And does it have any symbolic representation or meaning?
Honey, it's a big rocket. What do you think? You ride into the new century. That's what you do with it.
The new artistic director is David Oy, who used to work with our show, 10% QTV. David replaces Sarah Stanley, who is the last artistic director, and Sky Gilbert before her.
Now Magazine, with Cineplex Odeon, Iceberg Vodka, and Tower Records. They're promoting the works of director Tom Fitzgerald, who did The Hanging Garden and Beefcake, which opened this year's Inside Out Film Festival, as you must know by now. On the float is Mr. Beefcake 99.
The competition to select the Beefy Boy was a fundraiser for Toronto's Pride Committee. And the flag wavers are from Keshet Shalom, which is a Jewish organization which provides an opportunity for lesbian and gay Jews to interact and express themselves socially, spiritually, and culturally.
Look, Alan, the MAC Cosmetics float. This has got to be a good one. Every year they come out with a great float. MAC Cosmetics is best known for its support of the annual Fashion Cares, which started in 1986.
Fashion Cares, in the 12-year attendance, has had over 23,000 guests, and volunteers meant net profits exceeding $2 million.
And we've got Manline. Well, what gay community would be complete without Manline? They started in 1989. It's their 9th year in the parade. Well, it provides gay and lesbian connection service. 7 cities, North America, and 4 in Australia. We've got Miss Toronto Continental Pageant. Madame Outrageous in this convertible here. And we've got Hola, the Latino group. Been around since 1992. 7 years they've been in the parade now.
And the B-Girls are taking a break. Had a busy day.
I guess. They haven't stopped since the beginning.
Now the butterfly that you see is a symbol for Hola. And on the float, the butterfly is on top of the world. So I think that means that Hola feels on top of the world today.
Have you seen the Latino drag queens dance at El Convento? They're amazing.
Now this is the last float coming down. Hola. And there are the dancers following the Hola trucks.
Wow, 2 trucks for Hola.
It's a very community-oriented organization. Not just for the Latino community. And as you can see now, the people are starting to follow the parade down the street, Hola being the last float. And there's just a sea of people that are starting to walk down from Bloor following the last float.
Wow, what a parade. Well, there you go, Pride 1999, the last Pride of the Millennium. Next year?
Next year, well, we could
Pride
start thinking of
2000.
names right now. Pride 2000, Millennium Pride. Pride 2K? I don't know.
Pride 2K, that's good. Hope you enjoyed the parade. We had a great time in seeing it.
It was an amazing parade, and it's only going to get better and better. And thanks to everybody for coming out to the parade. It makes it for an especially amazing event. And those of you that watched at home, come out next year.